Well, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has told President Muhammadu Buhari that it is not willing and ready to call off its 5-month-old strike, except the federal government fulfills its part of the bargain. ASUU, while replying the president's call for the strike to end, says enough cannot be enough. Quote, until the president moves to reposition the decaying public university education in the country. Well, the union accuses the government of not willing to address the issues that led to the strike. The union also says Nigerian academics remain one of the poorest paid scholars, not only in Africa, but the world, while Nigerian universities are unattractive to students and scholars from across the globe.
All right, our guest is here in the studio with us to discuss all of this. Comrade Jude Imagwe is former NANS president, that's the National Association of Nigerian Students, and former aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. Let's begin with that outburst by the president, to ASUU saying, look, enough is enough. Don't hurt the next generation, for goodness sake. Is it not, a plea that ASUU should be listening to?
The statement was not an appealing statement. It was like a command. It's like the president failed to realize that he's no longer a general. He's retired. He's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's not the head of state. And as such, you don't give an academic union a directive, an instruction as if you are talking to your kids. I'm not sure he could even address his kids like that to say enough is enough. Enough is enough after 5 months. Enough is a month. Enough, you have not had an opportunity to sit with the academic staff, to discuss with them. Enough is enough. You constituted a committee led by Lulu Briggs. They gave you their report. The report is still on your table. You have not addressed it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough that there are propositions in that report that are given to you. You have not said anything about it. Enough is enough that minister in your cabinet, when our campuses are under lock and key, could afford to buy purchase a party form, nomination form for 100 million. You did not fire that minister. Enough is enough. And you see, you don't just wake and say enough is enough. But otherwise, anyway,
what the government says is actually addressing ASUU's demands.
For persons like me, if the president's wake after 5 months to realize that enough is enough, I will assume that yes, he may say enough is enough, owing to his own academic background.
But this is not the first time the president, and I don't think that will be a fair comment. This is not the first time the president is intervening. He had spoken some months back, about 2 months into the strike, appealing to the lecturers to go back to the classroom and asking the students to have a bit of patience. So it's not the first time the president is speaking. When you say the president is just waking up 5 months after, but that's not my question. Nothing seems to be persuading the striking lecturers. We've had even religious leaders have meetings with them. We've had committees set up to look into this matter. There have been several negotiations. What is missing, in your own opinion?
The issue there is an issue of trust.
Okay.
It's an issue of trust. You see, the president gives statement and makes the calls is different from when a president requests the academic staff president to come. The Minister of Education, you come sit down, and the Minister of Labor, sit in my office. What is the problem? Now, when they had a problem in their party, the president invited them and they met. Now, if you could invite people, your party members, to discuss an issue that is just a selected component of a nation, your party, which does not have any significant effect on the growth of a nation, it's a party affair, and you jettison what generates the future of a country, and you say you are transmitting a communication to them. You are in this country. You are not an alien president. You are seated in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The ASUU president in this country is in this country. You appointed the Minister for Education, and you have a Minister for State. There's a Minister of Labor. There is practically nothing wrong. If you want to have a weakness, a third person that could serve as a weakness to it, you call the NLC president. And you sit on the table. See, I will tell you, the strikes do not just necessarily start today. When we had strike, then I was senior special assistant to the president on youth and student, President Goodluck Jonathan. When it was difficult, President Jonathan sat with ASUU for 9 hours. The matter was resolved. Now, you see, it is different from an ASUU president sitting with the Minister for Education and discussing believing that the minister is going to transmit their concern to the president, than sitting with the president and expressing their concern to the president and taking a word of assurance from the president. I'll tell you something. The committee had given a report to the president, and there were three things that are tied in it. The first is the issue of revitalization, which has to do with funding. Now, I have my own reservation about the revitalization, because the revitalization is like government going to pump a lot of money into the academic environment. And again, there are ways government take this money away from them. You send money into academic environment, there are no checks and balance. And you constitute a governing council that comes through the back and begin to direct this management of institutions to award contracts to the governing councils. Then the second aspect of it is the renegotiation of their salary. Their salary has been renegotiated. That is the part that is still causing the strike. The ASUU says, we have renegotiated the salary. The new one we have proposed to the committee. Tell us,
which of the demands exactly has government addressed? Because government is saying, look, we have addressed some of the issues or demands of ASUU.
I am not an ASUU staff, but let me tell you what the ASUU president said last.
Very quickly.
He said, if the president can consent to that report that is on this table, if he signs it this night, 12 midnight, by 6 a.m., ASUU will call off their strike. And so what is keeping the president from signing it?
Lulu Briggs.
The report. That's what he said.
Well, thank you so much, Jude Imagwe, former President, National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, and former aide to former President Goodluck. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the lingering strike in the universities here in Nigeria.